In 2024, it looked like the AFL draft that would define a generation of players. In 2025, it has become the AFL draft that will define the competition for the next decade, with AFL list managers and scouts worried about the depth of this upcoming draft. I'm sure a lot of them are looking back at the 2021 crop, wishing they had had access to the unrivaled talent from the group. Just 4 seasons into all of those players' careers, and a large amount are having a significant say on the competition, and they are only getting better. The draft class fittingly came exactly 20 years on from the original Super Draft back in 2001, but perhaps second time around in 2021, the sequel will be even better. But before we look at the present crop, let's go back to that 2001 group. What made it so special was the talent taken right away, but the underrated part was the depth. We all know Luke Hodge, Luke Ball and Chris Judd went 1, 2 and 3, with Hodge being an all-time great captain and 2-time Norm Smith medalist, Ball playing 220 consistent midfield games, and Judd dominating the game with his speed on the way to 2 Brownlows, a premiership and a Norm Smith medal of his own. James Bartel, David Hale, Nick Del Santo and James Kelly were the other notable picks taken within the top 20. But the draft actually gets better the deeper it goes. Steve Johnson was picked 25, Sam Mitchell 36, Lee Montagna 37, Dane Swan 58, Brian Lake 71, and the best of them all, Gary Ablett Jr. pick 40. I think we can all see why it was labelled the original Super Draft. High level top end talent and unrivaled depth that runs to pick 71. Another strange similarity for the 2001 and 2021 crops were the drafts before them. The 2020 draft has probably been one of the worst in recent times. Riley Thilthorpe at pick 2 has been by far the best of the first round, and Max Holmes picked up at selection 20, and Errol Goulden who was taken at pick 32, and the only other 2 stars to join him. But besides just those 3 players, there's not much else. Tom Powell, Jake Bowie, Sam Berry and Bo McCreary are some other notable names, but from 59 total selections, it is a very underwhelming draft crop. The 2000 draft was a bit the same. Nick Rewald at pick 1 is the gem, and alongside Alan Didak, Sean Burgoyne, Scott Thompson, Daniel Kerr and Kane Corns, it's a solid first 20 picks. But after that, it does fall right away, with Drew Petrie at pick 23 and Port Adelaide defender Dominic Cassisi at pick 50, the 2 best players from the remaining 60 selections. But let's go to the 2021 draft. Does the top end talent match 2001's? Well, it's still early, but it might actually exceed it. Jason Horne-Francis at pick 1 has had an injury interrupted season, but at his best, he has still been so explosive, and he's still a year or 2 away from his prime. Pick 2 and Sam Darcy has averaged over 3 goals per game and has been compared to Wayne Carey in terms of his impact on the Western Bulldogs. We just haven't seen a player like Darcy before, with the combination of his height and skill, and that's why he's been so captivating. Pick 3 and Finn Callaghan has burst onto the scene, quite literally. If you want to see him at his damaging best, go watch the 3rd quarter of the Giants vs Sydney game. Even with James Jordan tagging him, he ran him off his legs, and his running power is almost unmatched. And the best of the bunch is Nick Dacos at pick 4. He is almost a Brownlow medal lock, and already is a premiership player, best and fairest, and All-Australian. It's an unreal top 4, and each player is unique, which adds to the Super Draft element. Horne-Francis' power and pace, Darcy is the big key forward, Callaghan is the tall and quick on baller, and Dacos is small, agile, and very hard to catch. And this is just the top 4. McAndrew went at pick 5. He's an established AFL player who still has untapped potential. Josh Rochelli went at pick 6 and was having a career best season before injury struck him. And the rest of the top 10 have shown enough to see a future for most of them, with Josh Ward a regular on baller at Hawthorn. So the top end of the draft is awesome, but doesn't match the depth of the 2001 class. It's hard to get another Ablett Jr. or Swan, but it's looking strong for now. How about Nasiah Wanganeen Millera at pick 11? Now that's still a high pick, but in a redraft, Millera would be going in the top 6. Premiership Lions and Darcy Wilmot, pick 16, and high-flying forward Kai Lohmann, pick 20, round out an impressive first round of selections. Player for player, the top 20 definitely matches it with 2001, even though it's early days. From then on, there are still good players that fell. Connor McDonald from Hawthorn is having a bit of a down year, but at pick 25, he's been great over the duration of his career. Brady Hoff at West Coast has now transitioned to a midfield spot and looks to be a bargain at pick 31. Then, picks 33, 34, 35 and 36 are all regular AFL players. They are Mitch Owens at St Kilda, defender Matthew Roberts up at Sydney, Paul Curtis at North Melbourne, who has had a breakout season, and 2024 Showdown medalist Jake Saligo, who is a crucial cog in Adelaide's midfield. 4 picks in the 30s, and they are all delivering above expectation. Even Marcus Windhager at pick 47 and Jace Burgoyne at pick 60 round out a solid level of depth in the draft class. So the discussion about 2021 and its potential to be a super draft has already started, and it's fair enough. I think the overall depth at this stage isn't as strong as 2001, not that it is bad at all, but the top end talent is where everyone's attention goes to. It could definitely be the best first round in AFL history, and not even 4 completed seasons in, that is a scary proposition for the competition. With the 2020 draft struggling, and Tasmania, father-son and academy picks set to significantly impact upcoming drafts, they are another few reasons why the 2021 players will have such a big say in the competition. It's not only that a lot of the players are highly talented and generational, but it's the surrounding classes that haven't been nearly as strong. Nick Dacos's, Sam Darcy's, Wanganeen Miller's don't grow on trees, and to have all of these players in one draft class is special. And a little aside, it's why Harley Reid in some people's eyes is worth $20+ million and 3 or 4 first round draft picks. It's telling us that the people who follow the drafts aren't seeing a whole lot of these type of players coming up, and again that threat of Tasmania always looms large. But for now, all we can do is enjoy watching the 2021 players, especially if they are on our sides. If we are already talking about them matching it with the original Super Draft, it's scary to think how we will talk about them after a decade, because the class will only be getting better from here on out.